What is the weirdest thing you find extremely attractive? My husband can do an incredible impersonation of a gorilla. Knuckles on the ground, butt sticking out, huffing noise, the whole deal. Wouldn't you know that has gotten me into bed more times than I would care to admit it. I want to say it's mostly because he makes me laugh so much, but damn. Sometimes I see a gorilla and I'm like, wow, he's pretty handsome. I'm now picturing him dragging you by the leg to bed while staying in character Mayo. I'm 100% doing this when I get married. Recently I've been working out more. My wife says the veins popping out of my arms and hands get her all hot and bothered for some reason. Either way it feels good when she touches them. Yes, arm veins. When they go all the way dressing up. Not in the fancy way, but in the oh there's a theme, and I'm not shy to go all the way with my costume. Shows confidence and a great fun factor. For me that also goes for events. When I was in nursing school, we had what was called our white coat ceremony in our first semester. It's like a welcome to becoming a nurse event. We all dress business casual, wear our lab coat, have a guest speaker, and take pics. It's sweet and feels pretty special, but it's not as big of a deal as our pinning ceremony. So we all show up for the event, and in walks one of our classmates in a full blue suit. A horde of my classmates erupted in AWWS because he had clearly overdressed. But that one event made me look at him different for the rest of my schooling. It wasn't the fact that he was in a suit, but the fact that he was overdressed and not in a cocky way. He actually was really embarrassed when he realized his mistake. But damn, I still feel a little tingly inside about it. People who can ramble on about their passions for hours. I love listening to people talk about the stuff they love. That's it. I'm bringing out the Dark Souls lore. You won't believe why they call him Big Hat Logan. I know it's hard to believe, but it's because he wears a big hat. Neuron activation, are you sure? Eye crinkles on men. My husband is older than I am, and he started getting laugh lines around his eyes a few years ago, and I love them. I have mentioned it to him, but it makes him feel self-conscious about wrinkles, so I have to keep it to myself. But those and his freckles. Swoon. My boyfriend just started getting these, even though we are only 30. Very fine lines. Hardly noticeable, but I adore them. He also has a bit of a lopsided, mischievous grin that makes my heart race. British people speaking Spanish perfectly. Good at queuing and king. La Michela de res muy refrescant. In it. When someone's multilingual and switches back and forth between languages in a conversation. When I'm video chatting with my Filipino friends and I stop to talk to my boyfriend in Dutch, they will yell hinga dinga dogen at me. It's great. It's Leif Erikson Day. When to go get more giant paper. Patrick. Yada hated Inda. My husband got himself this bear onishi. The first time he put it on I was like, what is this feeling? Why am I aroused right now? After a few occasions of him wearing it I was like, well, I guess I'm a borderline furry, although I think it's the snuggly softness that does it for me rather than anything animalistic. He still thinks it's very weird, but he will put it on for me when I ask. Too bad for him, our anniversary is in the height of summer. This has been my favorite comment so far. At first it was kinda funny to me, but I made it so much funnier in my head. I'm imagining some chick wearing lingerie and this dude in a bear costume comes out of the bathroom, and in a Yogi the Bear voice says, I'm gonna taste what's in your picnic basket. PS, have a link to this onishi. Definitely not going to get one. Just doing research. Here's a headline for you. Man bears all for his lover. Ends in sticky mess. Right. I'd love to see what this thing looks like. For a friend. For a friend. I could think of a lot of weird things I find attractive, but the biggest is probably big t-shirts. Check size tag on shirt, how's a 5XL. The idea that in this microwave ready, Instagram perfect world, that there are people, like all of you in this thread, that appreciate the imperfections in people and make them sound like the most attractive features ever. Right? It's so wholesome here. I love it. My girlfriend doesn't have perfect teeth. She's super insecure about how two of her teeth are a little crooked. But every time she smiles it's the most adorable thing ever. Something about those slight imperfections just make her that much more perfect. She's planning on getting braces when she saves up some more. which is kind of a bummer. More power to her though. When I met my wife, her one front tooth was a little crooked, and I always thought it was kinda hot. She wanted it fixed when we were getting married for her wedding pictures, and I was low-key a little bummed. Lol. I didn't make a strong case. I said something like, "Are you sure? I kinda like it." She pretty much told me it made her insecure and she hates it. So I couldn't really argue with that. I thought I was the only one though. That's funny. My fiancé mentioned something about always wanting to correct her crooked eye tooth, and I had never told her how sexy I thought it was, but that day I was like, OMG, absolutely not. That's my favorite tooth. It's so sexy. And she's never brought up fixing it again. And now I can freely gush about my favorite tooth with her. She thinks it's funny. Big, but structured, prominent noses. IDK what it is about them that I just swoon over. But it always happens. I'm Hispanic, and I have a large nose. Always been insecure about it. Resembles like those Mayan paintings type of noses. This post made me happy. Thank you. Trust me when I say, those prominent noses, like the ones on old photos and statues, are hot. Greek, Mayan, whoever, works on men and women for me. I cry inside every time I hear of women getting a nose job to remove that gorgeous proud arch on their nose. At least men usually leave it alone. It just makes a face powerful. Wow, I have a strong nose and I've been pretty insecure about it my whole life. Your comment made me smile, thanks. I have trouble falling in love with my side profile, especially with all the nose job stories I see where they have a perfectly little dainty nose, and I'm over here like, dainty noses go in and out of popularity, but a strong profile has character for life. Men's calves. Snuggling up to those bad boys can be a real turn on. Charles Boyle has entered the chat. Lily Aldrin too. Who's attracted to men's calves? They're a thoroughly unerotic body part. I'd say that too if I had those skinny little chicken legs. I'll be waiting by the phone for your apology leaves. Dude, you can't whip that out at brunch. When a girl's hair falls over her face a little, it just looks super pretty to me, especially if she doesn't push it out of the way immediately. The neck. When a woman has her hair up and those little bits of hair curl around. In traditional Japanese culture, the nape, unaji, was one of the few areas of the body, other than face and hands, left uncovered by women's attire. The nape of a woman's neck held a strong attraction for many Japanese men. See Geisha Makup. You're not alone. Female Titan is too smart for that though. K9 teeth. All day. On a human. Right. Stares Anna Kinley. Anna Kinley is my new favorite word. The worst part is, Anna Kinley was apparently already a word in my phone's vocabulary. I have zero memory of using it until just now, and yet it was the first suggestion after I typed stairs. Ankle bracelets. Like on parole? Ah yes. The best kind of ankle bracelets. Hey everybody, I'm Laura Hoos, proving that girls can do it too. When a person stifles their laughter, something about the way their face scrunches up whenever it happens makes my heart flutter for some reason. Also, scars. I dated a guy for a couple of years in my early 20s who always wore an open button-down shirt over a tee, and whenever he laughed really hard, he would grab the open shirt and bury his face in it while his whole upper body shook. He had a very jiggly laugh too. The whole thing was ridiculously charming. That sounds really stinking adorable. I love him now, too. Prominent noses. Actually, this is what I came to say. I met my wife online. She was over online dating, but I commented on her nose and she loved it. We've been together for 8 years and are probably getting divorced anytime now. Well, that took a turn. Took a nosedive. Houseplants. Chicks with plants are just very hot to me. Also, the more comfier girlies, the better. Something about sweats, blankets, overly large sweaters, or girls cuddled up real tight is really cute and turns me on so much. Are you 100% sure that you're not a cat? Like maybe just check to be sure. No, it's all in their username human kaleidoscope. Otherwise it'd be cat kaleidoscope unless that's what they want us to think. Catleidoscope? When someone you're talking to sticks out their tongue. Had a girl slightly do it on a date and it drove me wild. Sticks out tongue, this seems to be in the wrong mouth. Pethus themes to be nth wrong mouth. So hot. Old-fashioned hairstyles. Don't know why, but exhausted men look super hot to me. Probably because being exhausted is as close as being the real you as possible. Winks and night shift. I like scars. Each one has a story and I want to know it. You wanna know how I got these scars? When my girl scolds me in her native tongue, I can't understand a word, but god it sounds sexy. I'm an American and my wife is a British. When she gets slightly annoyed her London accent gets more pronounced. It's hot. For some unknown reason I'm attracted to people who are left-handed. I'm left-handed, and I had no idea that is something that can be attractive to other people. Usually we left-handers just get the "oh, you're left-handed," but in a kind of "you're a freak" way. Also those goddamn scissors. You know what I'm talking about. Please not again. Oh, and ring binders. That S drives me insane honestly. Sitting on the wrong side of a booth in the restaurant and elbowing your fellow right-hander the entire time.